Now let us see a few more questions in software engineering, MCQ questions. Today's first topic is object-oriented software design. So the first question is choose the incorrect statement in terms of objects. Which is the incorrect statement? Objects are abstractions of real world. Objects can't manage themselves. And object encapsulates state and representation or represents information. The answer is B because the others are correct. This is incorrect. They can't manage themselves. So objects are abstractions of real world. An object encapsulates state and representation information. And the explanation is objects are independent. Objects are independent. Second is what encapsulates both data and data manipulation functions. What encapsulates? Is it an object, class, superclass, or subclass? So let us see the answer. The answer is A. Okay, because this data and data manipulation functions is encapsulated by an object rather than a class. So you'll be tempted to answer that it is class, but it is basically an object because you make an object, then you call the data, then you call the data manipulation functions. Next is which of the following is a mechanism that allows several objects in a class hierarchy to have different methods with the same name. So which is the mechanism here? Is it aggregation, polymorphism, or inheritance? So can you answer? The answer is polymorphism. In polymorphism, instances of each subclass will be free to respond to messages by calling their own version of the method. Own version of the method. Now the next question is inherited object classes are self-contained. Inherited object classes are self-contained, and the answer is false because the inherited object classes are not self-contained. They cannot be understood without reference to their superclasses, though they are independent. A kind of independent, but the dependency on the base class is always there. So you cannot say that they are purely independent or they are purely self-contained. Next is which of the following points related to object-oriented development (OOD) is true? Which of the following points related to OOD is true? See, these are the options. Can you answer one of these? The answer is C. Since object-oriented analysis is concerned with developing an object model of the application domain, and object-oriented design, or object-oriented development is concerned with developing an object-oriented system model to implement the requirements. One with the application domain, one to implement the requirements. Now the next question is how is generalization implemented in object-oriented programming languages? How is generalization? Can you answer this? The answer is A. It is inheritance. This is how the generalization subclass and then it is base class or superclass. This kind of structure is the generalization scheme. The next question is which of the following is a disadvantage of object-oriented design? Which of the options are disadvantage? Can you answer? These are the 4 options for you. The answer is D. D. So all the options, they define the characteristics of OOD. Let's see them once again. First is easier maintenance. Object-oriented design, reusability is good. You can maintain it. Objects can be understood as the standalone entities because they are taken out from the real-world entities only. Then objects are potentially reusable. So maintenance, reusability, and understandability as a standalone entity. So all the options here from A to C, they define the characteristics of OOD. So none of the mentioned will be the answer. Next is which of the following describes is a relationship? Is a relationship. This is a this. This is a this. So is it dependency or inheritance? Answer is B. It is actually inheritance. We have just seen one more question which was similar to this. Next question is object that collects data on request rather than autonomously is known as active object, passive object, multiple instance, and none of the mentioned. So the question is object that collects data on request rather than autonomously. The answer is B, which is a passive object. The passive object holds data but does not initiate control. It holds the data but it will not initiate the control. Next is objects are executed sequentially in parallel A and B, either sequentially or parallel or both? The answer is C. Yes, objects may be distributed and may execute either sequentially or in parallel. Now the next question will come from the topic function-oriented design using structured analysis, structured design. So structured SA and SD we are talking about. This is SA and SD is the important topics and aspects of your function-oriented design. Let us start. The first question is, SASD features are obtained from which of the methodologies? SASD features are obtained from which of the methodologies? Konstantin-Uden, DeMarco-Uden, Gain and Sarsons. And the answer would be all of the mentioned, right? All of these methodologies, the SASD features are obtained. Now the next one is, which of the following is not an activity of structured analysis? Which of them are not the activity of analysis? Is it function decomposition or this one? This one, the answer is C. All the functions represented in the DFD are mapped into modules structure. This is the activity of software structured analysis, structured design, not structured analysis, right? While structured analysis say function decomposition, structured analysis say transformation of textual problem description into a graphical model, but all the functions represented in the DFD, they are mapped to a module structure. This is not an activity of SA, but it is an activity of SD. Next is to arrive at a form which is suitable for implementation in some programming language is the purpose of. To arrive at a form which is suitable. So is it structure design or any else? The answer is structure design. Next question would be, the results of structured analysis can be easily understood by ordinary customers, and this is exactly true. The results of this structured analysis directly represent customer perception of the problem and uses the customer's terminology for naming different functions and data. Next is, structured analysis is based on the principle of bottom-up approach. Is this the answer? Bottom-up? No. Structured analysis follows the decomposition approach, as we have seen in the previous question also. So it follows the not bottom-up but top-down approach. The next is, the context diagram is also known as level 0, level 1, level 2. So is it level 0? Yes, it is level 0. The context diagram captures the various external entities to the system interacting with it and data flow occurring between the system and the external entities. So system and external entities, level 0 DFD, which is called the context diagram. Next question is, a directed arc or line in DFD is directed arc. Is it data store, data process, or data flow? The answer is data flow because it resembles the data flow in the direction of the arrow. Now the next one is, a DFD is always accompanied by data dictionary. This is true or false? Yes, this is absolutely true. A data dictionary lists all data items appearing in a DFD, including the definitions and data names. So DFD contains the definitions and data names of all the data items which are being used. Next is, which of the following is a function of case tool? Which of the following is a function of case tool? Can you answer? Case tool. Please read this and answer. The answer is supporting structured analysis and design. This is the function of case tool, to support the structured analysis and structured design. And the next is data store symbol in DFD represents a data store. Represents a physical file, data structure, logical file, all of them mentioned. The answer is all of them mentioned. The data store symbol can be either physical file, it can be a data structure, or it can be a logical file. Now we are on to the topic testing tools. Let us see the questions. Standard Enforcer is a static testing tool or dynamic testing tool? The Standard Enforcer is a static testing tool. So static testing tool are those tools that perform analysis of the program without even executing them. So you don't execute in static testing. So Standard Enforcer does that exactly. Second is many applications using static analysis find 0.1 to 0.2% this NCSS. So what is this NCSS? Magnification using static analysis, 0.1 to 0.2% NCSS. Can you tell me which is what this NCSS acronym is about? The answer is C. It is non-comment source statement. Non-comment source statement. Okay. Then next is, which testing tool does a simple job of enforcing standards in a uniform way of many programs? Static analyzer, code inspector, standard enforcer, or both B and C? The answer is D. It is code inspector also and standard enforcer also. The name is standard enforcer, so this is a tool which enforces the standard. The standard enforcer is just like a code inspector only. So except that the rules are generally simpler. Standard enforcer look at only single statement, while the static analyzer looks at whole programs or whole program. The next question is, software testing with real data in real environment is known as real data in real environment. Is it beta testing or any other testing? The answer is beta testing only, because the beta testing is the last stage of testing, and normally it can involve sending the product to beta test sites outside the company for real world exposure, or offering the product for a free trial download over the internet like a shareware. Next is, which of the following testing tools examine a program systematically and automatically? Which of the following testing tool examine programs systematically and automatically? The answer is static analyzer. The static analyzer operates from pre-computed database, descriptive information derived from the source text of the program. So it operates from a pre-computed database, and or the descriptive information which is derived from the source text of the program. Now the next is, which testing tool is responsible for documenting programs? Documenting programs. Can you answer this? Which testing tool is responsible for documenting the program? The answer is C. Test archiving system. Test archiving system. And the next question is, beta testing is done by? Are they users? Yes, the answer is users. Standard enforcers looks at the whole program. Is it false? Yes, it is false. Next is, debugging program is a program which or debugger program is a program which runs concurrently with the program under test and provide commands to examine memory and register, stop execution at a particular point, search for references for particular variables, constant and registers, all of the mentioned. Can you answer this? The answer is D, all these, because the debugging program, this debugging is actually a methodological process of finding and reducing the number of bugs or defects in a computer program or a piece of electronic hardware, thus making it behave as expected. So debugging program is a program which runs concurrently with the program under test and provide command to examine memory and registers, stop execution at a particular point, or search for references for particular variables, constants, and registers. The next is execution verifier. Execution verifier is a dynamic tool that is also known as execution verifier, which is a dynamic tool. So can you find the correct answer in these four? The answer is coverage analyzer. So this coverage analyzer, execution verifier, is a dynamic tool that is also known as the coverage analyzer. Now the next question is from metric analysis. This is the fourth topic. Metric analysis. Which of the following is not a metric for design model? Metric for design model, not a metric for design model. Can you answer? Interface design metrics, component level metrics, architectural metrics, complexity metrics. The answer is D. Complexity metrics. It measures the logical complexity of the source code. So you are given a code, cyclomatic McCabe's cyclomatic complexity will tell you about the logical complexity of the source program. So it is not a metric for design model. Otherwise, the interface design metrics the component level metrics, the architectural metrics, they all are metric for design model. Next is statement and branch coverage metrics. Statement and branch coverage metrics are part of, can you answer, testing or analysis model, design model, source code? The answer is B. Statement and branch coverage metrics are part of testing, because this metric will lead to the design of test cases, right? This will give you the number of test cases, design of test cases that provide the program coverage. So statement and branch coverage metrics is a part of testing because it will give you the test cases. Next is function points in software engineering was first proposed by. Function points in software engineering was first proposed by. The answer is C. Albrecht, first proposed by Albrecht in 1979. So hundreds of books and papers have been written on function points since then. Now the next question is how many information domain values are used for function point computation? How many information domain values are used for function point computation? So the answer is either 3, 4, 5 or 6. How many information domain values are used for function point computation? The answer is C. 5 values are used. So these are external inputs, external outputs, external inquiries, internal logic files, and external interface files. So you have 4 things which are pertaining to external. That is external inputs, external outputs, external inquiries, external interfaces, while one is the internal logic files. Function point computation is given by the formula, which is this is the C1. So there are 4: A, B, C, and D. Can you answer can you find out the exact correct formula? The answer is B. This is FP is equal to count total into, and in bracket you have 0.65 plus 0.01 into sum of Fi. These are the Fi, or computation of all this. So next is architectural design metrics are dash in nature. Architectural design metrics are what in nature? They are black box. They are black box. So they are black box in that they do not require any knowledge of the inner working of a particular software component. You don't require the internal detail. Architectural design metrics. Now the next is structural complexity of a module I is given by Si is equal to F into Fi. This is the structural complexity of a module. So what does this F symbolizes here? Is it fan checkout or fan in or fan out? F into Fi. Structural complexity. The answer is D. It is fan out. So fan out of module I. This I. Module I, so the structural complexity of a module is given by Si is equal to F into Fi, which is the structural complexity, where F is nothing but the fan out. The next is SMI stands for Software Maturity Index or any other. The answer is B, Software Maturity Index, this one, B. Now the next one is as the SMI approaches 1.0, the software product starts becoming unstable. As the SMI approaches 1.0, the software product starts becoming unstable. True or false? The answer is B, because as the SMI approaches 1.0, the software product begins to stabilize, not become unstable. So we need SMI to approach to this 1.0. Now the next one is SMI is equal to MT minus FA plus FC plus FD by MT. Here MT is the number of modules in what? Current release that have not been changed from the preceding release that were deleted in the current release, MT, and this is A in the current release. So MT is the number of modules in the current release. Next is the amount of time that the software is available for use is known as the amount of time that the software is available for use is availability or reliability or usability, efficiency, functionality. The answer is A, reliability. The amount of time that the software is available for use. Actually, reliability is the degree to which the software is working failure free in a given environment for a duration of time. So it is a probability actually. Next is usability in metric analysis is defined as the degree to which the software Stated needs, it's easy to use, make optimal use of system resources. And the answer is B. This is this one. Usability is simply the easy to use entity. So that is usability metric analysis defined as the degree to which the software is easy to use. So these were a few questions on software engineering MCQ. We'll be taking more of it. Thank you so much. Take care.